Hey, Assel, welcome to our next podcast. The topic this week, we get asked this a lot, is what can we expect from our cold outreach? Like, what are successful campaign benchmarks? What are good KPIs? What should we expect in terms of reply rate, call booking rate, even open rate and things? So, yeah, I'd love to hear from you what you've discovered about that from doing thousands of emails of cold outreach.
We haven't done thousands, we have done millions now. We have sent over 2 million emails by now, which is a huge benchmark. That being said, it's really hard to justify benchmarks or the KPIs when it comes to open rate, reply rate, especially the positive reply rate and the conversion rate, especially these two, because it varies a lot from campaign to campaign or industry to industry. What is your objective of the whole outreach? We can definitely go through certain industry standards. If you take one number, which is you are doing for an SEO campaign, and try to replicate that for a campaign where you are trying to sell ERP to hospitals, it's never gonna be the same, no matter what you do. So a lot of people don't really understand that, and a lot of people don't really advertise it the way they should. So yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is no two campaigns are the same. So it's really hard to say, predict a success rate, an open rate, a call booking rate, that messaging for SEO is different to a software, which is different to offering coaching or paid services or even fundraising or investment. Yeah, got it. Okay, thank you. Thanks for
So
clarifying.
open rate is something which can be universal, because open rate basically means how many people out of 100, how many people have opened your email. So if your tech stack is right, if you have done the right research and you have wound up your accounts the right way, you will definitely get a certain number of you know, um, email open within 24 hours, all day, every day, regardless of the campaign. But when it comes to the positive reply rate and the conversion rate, the leads converting towards the demo call or the sales call, it is going to vary across every campaign. So again, there are industry standards, but you can't really expect one demograph for all the campaigns. So with this episode, maybe we can categorize our KPIs into three different categories: good, great, and need improvement. What do you think, Jen?
Yeah, that sounds great. So before we jump into the KPIs, just to clarify, you said that the open rate can be optimized and is fairly universal across campaigns. That just gives you the chance to speak to people. So if you've done everything right, warmed up your domains, set up your inboxes, got the right data, got a kind of good subject line, you should optimize for open rate. And then after that, everything is dependent on the campaign message and attractiveness of that. So the reply rate relies on the offer, but the
Yeah,
open rate relies on a lot of the mechanics and the science of setting up
exactly.
good campaigns. Okay, great. So in that case, yeah, I'd love to hear more then about optimizing for open rate, because that's something that can be controlled.
Yeah.
Whereas optimizing for reply rate obviously is very dependent on other factors, right? Yeah, what do you class as, good, bad, medium, whatever?
Sure. So for open rate in general, the industry standard of a good open rate would be around anywhere between 30 to 45%. We can call it a healthy or a good open rate. But if you are getting open rate around 50 to 70%, it's great. Nothing can be better than that. But if your open rate, which most of the time I see people struggling with, is less than 25%, then definitely there is something wrong with the mechanics or the structure that you have developed. So you need to go back and check that.
Great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So that is something that we can control, right? And when it comes to the reply rate in general, again, it is somewhat controllable. I'm not saying if it's a hard sell, you can't really do anything and you just uh, run campaign and see if somebody replies or not. Obviously, there are different mechanics to it, like you need to strategize accordingly. You need to see what kind of people you are targeting. You need to have A/B testing with the script and blah blah blah. So you can definitely achieve some numbers, but it varies. That's the point. Is so in terms of reply rate, this industry standard is anywhere between 1 to 4% is a good metric for a reply rate. And if you are getting a reply rate between 4 to 6%, that's great. But if it is under 1%, then maybe something is wrong with the messaging or the targeting that you can go back and reflect and correct.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Something we see a lot is companies that are promoting this huge reply rate, like, oh, I sent 100 emails and I booked 10 calls,
Yeah.
things like that, or I booked 50 calls, or, I sent 50 DMs, I booked, this huge amount of calls. What's happening in that case? Like, do they just have some kind of magic, or how are they creating such big numbers?
Maybe it's magic. uh, Again, I think it's slightly misleading. So it depends upon the offer a lot. Like, what is the objective of the whole campaign? For example, one of our clients, I don't know if I can name them or not on call, but for them, we are running campaigns for the last 2.5 years now. And the objective of the campaign is to reach out to the startups that are looking to raise funds. And if anybody says yes, just book them in. That's it. So basically, we are offering money. And for the last 2.5 years, every day we book anywhere 8 to 12 calls a day, each day, throughout 2.5 years, which is humongous. Our open rate is the greatest. Our reply rate and conversion rate is top notch. But if I advertise that across all of my clients or the people that I'm meeting with, it won't work. If somebody is trying to sell their ERP to hospitals and I say, oh, look at my results that I'm getting from my client. Obviously, they'll be impressed, and I'm not lying, but it is kind of misleading. So I think a lot of people don't really clarify what they are doing. They just advertise it slightly very
Yeah, it's like
wrong.
fake advertising.
Yeah,
I think that happens a lot, right? You present the best results, but it's not really applied across everybody. It's
yeah.
just for a very specific client base. Okay, we've talked about email. Can you comment a little bit on LinkedIn, like good LinkedIn connection rate, LinkedIn reply rate? Is it the same as email? Is it better? Is it worse?
LinkedIn is very different than email. We have said it so many times, but at least I have. With LinkedIn, we have three different metrics that here at Trader we are really keen on. First is the connection acceptance rate, which is kind of like similar to, we can say, the open rate. You can manage it and you can control it up to some extent. And then we have the initial reply rate and the overall positive conversion or reply rate, which again, for some part of it you can control, but some part it basically depends on the campaign or the achievement that you are trying to get. So connection rate in general would be good if it is around anywhere between from 10 to 20%. And I would categorize it as great if it is anywhere between 20 to 35% or 40%. And if it is less than 10%, then it needs improvement from your side. When it comes to LinkedIn improvement, I think you are the best person to speak to. How you can improve your profile and how you can look more trustworthy.
Yeah, some people say when you connect, you should add a message, like a personalized connection message about why you're connecting. We generally find that the personalized connection message doesn't make so much of a difference, but that optimizing your profile is far better. So making sure your headline is clear, that you have a clear photo and banner image, and that you present yourself as a relevant connection, because people don't like to connect with irrelevant connections, particularly people who may spam them, things like that. So it only takes a few minutes to optimize your profile in terms of the results you create. So for example, instead of just saying founder, you could say founder helping hospitals accelerate their patient management with powerful cloud-based services or something like that. So it's like what you help and the results you create. And then that means if a hospital manager connects with you, they understand, oh, you help hospitals, you help people like me, and you help us with patient management. Oh, okay, maybe I'll connect with you, rather than you're just some random person on the internet. So speaking in terms of results is really powerful on LinkedIn, and you can do that on your profile in your About section and the content that you share. So we find that that's by far the most effective to help with connection rate as well as reply rate, and obviously everything around your message to make sure that it's clear, not too long, not too spammy, but value-based for them. So I want to help you solve a problem. I want to help you create a result. And if this is relevant to you, let's engage. If not, no problems. So polite, relevant, value-based. And we find that with enough consistency really works well in combination with email. Yeah.
Awesome. I have one question, Jen. So, and I've seen this happening a lot now, that in the headline, people just put, apart from their professional tags, for example, like founder helping web designers, if I'm a consultant helping web designers, I'll just put certain tags. But people have started doing something kind of like Instagram on LinkedIn too, with the headlines. For example, like if I'm really into cricket or football, I'll just put, you know, football is my passion, or I'm really passionate about MMA enthusiast. So how do you see that affecting your profile overall? Or is it a
Um,
good thing? Is it a bad thing? Like personally, how
yeah,
do you?
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think you just need to be careful that there's only limited characters that's visible. So
Yeah.
I would prioritize the relevance to the company over relevance to you if you've got limited space. But adding those personal things just makes you more human, right? You know, the fact that you love golf or you love MMA, it's another point of connection. It's another, like, oh, I love cricket too, you know, let's connect. But that's more, I'd say, in an order of priority, it's down the priority list. That the most relevant is who you help and how you help them, or why you help them, or results that you create. That's the top priority, I'd say. Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much about it. And when it again, this second and third thing would be just reply rate and the positive reply rate. Again, it depends upon the campaign. The good benchmark would be 5 to 10%, I think, for the reply rate, and the conversion rate should be around 1 to 3% via LinkedIn. But if you are not getting that, again, there are a lot of things that you can go back and check: your messaging, your targeting, your overall approach. Don't be too salesy, blah blah blah. So these are
Yeah.
the KPIs that you should make sure that if you want to achieve your objective, you are keeping track of these KPIs.
Okay, so let's summarize for those who've watched all the way to the end of this episode. What is a good email open rate?
30 to 40%,
And what's a good email reply rate?
1 to 4%,
And what's a good LinkedIn connection rate?
10 to 20%,
And what's a good LinkedIn reply rate?
5 to 10%.
And these are averages across varying campaigns. And of course, they would go up and down according to
Yeah.
different offers and different
Yeah.
niches. Okay, thank you for your time today. That was a
My
great
pleasure.
one. Yeah,
Thank
see you in the
you.
next podcast.
Bye.